Hello. Hi, everyone. Hi. My name is Pearl. Welcome to the Pedals to Wife Society. Let's talk about it. How about that? Let's talk about it. Let me let other people make sure I have the room up so I can see any comments. But because we want to talk about the old must die and the new must rise. The thing is, I don't know how many people that follow me who are into spirituality or religion, but I'm going to give it a good example of the old must die in order for the new to rise. When you are getting baptized, if you're a Christian, one of the things they do is baptize you. The baptism means something. It is literally a purification or renewal. This means that when you come up out of that water, you're supposed to be renewed spiritually. You're supposed to have a new mind. You're supposed to act a different way. You're supposed to speak a different way. You're supposed to walk a different way. The thing is that we have pandered, we have dismissed, we have allowed people to make themselves little to the point that people are not choosing to become new. And honestly, me as an educator, I can honestly say I saw it coming. I can honestly say I saw it coming. Because one of the things is, as an educator, they always get on you about try to be entertaining and engaging. The thing is, when it comes to learning certain information, there is no entertainment. There is no way to make it entertaining. There is no way to make it engaging. And take it from a woman who taught history. I've taught English, and history is like one of the driest subjects to make entertaining and engaging. Yet I pulled it off. But I knew when I walked in these classrooms as an educator myself, and they would tell us that we got to figure out how to get it engaging, how to make it entertaining, how to make the kids get involved, how to make them want to do the work, how to everything, but how to encourage children to motivate themselves, how to encourage children to take control of their thoughts and their minds, how to control, how to get children to understand that they're all powerful and everything doesn't have to be entertaining. Everything doesn't have to be engaging. Sometimes the very thing that you need in your life is going to be the driest information that you ever receive. And you're going to have to sit your butt in that chair and complete if you want to change, level up, release the old, and accept the new. So I can say I saw it coming because now I'm engaging with a lot of younger women, and I realize that they have the same issue. They're looking for entertainment, they're looking for engagement, they're looking for something that's gonna push them or motivate them to continue on to the end. And the thing is, when you are trying to kill the old you to have the new you rise, you're going to have to do some things that are not fun, entertaining, engaging, happy. All those things go to the crapper when you're trying to kill the old you. You may have to read a dry book, a dry behind book. Some of the books I suggest on my community tab, they are dry. They are boring. The thing is, they are enlightening. They are change worthy. They are speaking to your higher self. But the thing is, you won't know that if you're always trying to search out something entertainment, engaging, or looking for something that's going to be pleasant. Because some books are not pleasant. Guarantee the ones that have changed my life, the ones that I have suggested to you all, they're not engaging. They're dry as crap. And you're going to have to force yourself through it. Because guess what? Once you get to the end, then you'll have an understanding of why you read that entire book. That entire book will speak to your higher self, not to the current you. And if you're trying to kill the old you can't continue to stay in that cycle of searching for entertainment, engagement. You got to stop looking for clowns around the corner. You're going to have to be able to sit your butt in that chair and listen when someone has something to you that's going to speak to your higher self and is going to help the new you rise. People stay in cycles because they do not take the time to renew. They don't take the time to figure out why. They don't take the time to figure out what's the next move. They don't take the time to figure out what can I do to change my circumstances. And I guarantee you the answer will not be entertaining. It will not be hee hee ha ha. It will not be pain free. It will not be happy go lucky. The answer to changing and get out of those cycles and speaking to your higher self is to start doing some things that can kill that old you and have the new you rise. But the old you must die. No one can continue on the same journey. If you want a different result, it's the definition of insanity to do the same thing over and over and over and over. But you have to realize the journey is not meant for the weak. It is not meant for the stagnant. It is not meant for the stuck. It is meant for the person who's willing to take the bull by the horns and just do it. That is how you get confidence in everything you do. You do not get confidence watching other people gleaming confidence from them. You do not get confidence by being around confident people. You get more confident. The more boldness that you decide to take upon yourself, the more things that you decide to do, you become more confident. If you are scared of going out to dinner by yourself, baby, go ahead and do it. You be bold, be confident, and just do it. You get confident by doing. This is nothing that I cannot give you confidence. No one in this life can package it up and mail it to you. You have to actually do it. But we have to have the old us die and the new us rise. You have to come up with a different thinking. And trust me when I tell you to operate in your higher self and operate around these type of people who think along that mentality, you're going to have to change. It's very interesting to me that I literally will get around women who will be like, oh, I want an ambitious man. I want an ambitious man. But you have chosen not to ever invest in yourself. You want an ambitious man for a woman who hasn't invested in herself, who hasn't done the work, who hasn't changed since 1997. She is still doing the same things that she was doing prior. But you want a man who got out the mud, who is self-made, who is ambitious. Let me go ahead and clear up a little bit of something for you all. I'm going to give you something that's going to blow your mind. Let me give you something. The thing is, let me tell you how they lie to you all. They tell you all an ambitious man wants an ambitious woman. That is not true. What an ambitious man wants is a woman who's willing to grow. If you're a woman who's still stuck and stagnant and still doing the same things that you were doing 10 years ago, an ambitious man with ambitious energy will pass you over because you are stuck. You are stagnant. That is what it means. It doesn't mean that you have to match his ambitions. That is the misconception, because most people who are giving advice, they're giving advice from their lower self. They're giving advice from their old self. They haven't even tried to level up and become their higher self. They are still operating on norms that you hear on social media, these circular conversations. It is not that you have to match him ambition for ambition. It is because of the fact that when he comes across you, you have not grown. Because our ambitious man is going to attract a growing woman, a woman who's willing to evolve, level up, and get out of her own cycle and get out of her own way. That is what it truly means. And we have to, in order to do that, you have to kill the old you. I guarantee you, any woman that has leveled up and she's dating among these type of men that you all have conversations about on social media all the time, she is operating from her higher self. She has done the work and leveled up, and she's doing inner work. The inner work is guiding her. The inner work is leading her. The inner work is helping her be more confident, to move in certain circles, to know what to say, to be able to do the things that you see her doing. But y'all are impressed because she's dating a man that is high value. But you don't realize the woman that she had to become in order to do so. The old you must die. Y'all have to stop holding on to the woman who used to date Dusties. You have to stop holding on to the woman that used to go for coffee date. Well, I ain't gonna say coffee dates, because we know some people go for high-end coffee and still secures a whole bag. So we're not gonna go there. But I will say this. The woman who is dating Dusties and men who would not take care of her, and the woman who is dating men who were not providers, the woman who was dating men who did not work, the women who were dating men who sat on the couch all day, that woman had to die in order to get here. She wasn't able to take her old ways, her old habits, her old mindsets, her old thinking into her new life. This is the very reason why they baptize in religion. This is the very reason why they add water to a lot of things, because they're thinking of trying to purify, renew, and change. But we have women who will sit up here and see women like myself who are provided and protected and a provided princess. And you will say, you look at me and say, oh, it's her looks. Or it's her confidence. Or she demanded it. No, sis. It is because I stopped and killed that old me. I had to kill the woman that was willing to be in places that were undesirable. I had to kill the woman that was not willing to read books unless they were entertaining or romance, because I used to read romance all the time. I had to kill the woman who wasn't willing to try new things, who wasn't willing to be bold. I had to kill her, rebuild her, and be anew. And that is the missing piece to a lot of y'all's level up journey. Some of you all have the physicality, you look gorgeous, but when I have these conversations with you, I can see your mentality. That is the reason why you're still attracting the same type of men that you were dating prior. Because just because you look different on the outside, that inside is still the same. Baby, you can only put makeup on a pig for so many times before it's a freaking pig. And that's what it is. You have to kill the old you. That old you must die in order for the new you to rise. And I am not the only one who says this. There's plenty of women just like me who are provided for princesses. And they will tell you in a hot moment, they had to change the way they were thinking. They had to get under control that negative self-talk that they had. They had to get under control their self-esteem and self-worth. They had to get some self-confidence. They had to read books that were dry and not entertaining. They had to go to seminars, coaches, courses in order to level up. But sis, you want what I have? You want what I got? You want a piece of it? But you're not even willing to do what I did to get it. You're not even willing to do any of the things I have done. I did not get here because I had dreams. I did not get here because I had desires. I got here because I was willing to do whatever it takes to change my circumstances and get a different outcome. I was willing to walk through fire to change the type of men I was dating. I was willing to do, buy, invest, whatever I needed to do in order to have a better outcome. Because at that time when I decided I need to make my change, I didn't have any children. And I knew that I was not willing to bring children in the circumstances that I was living. I was not willing to bring children into the mentality that I was actualizing. I wasn't willing. But what are you willing to do? The old you must die in order for the new you to rise. I don't know not one woman who's very successful in this lifestyle. Let's call it lifestyle. I don't know one that just got on because of just pretty privilege. They don't last long, the ones who do. The ones who look up and they look and fall into the relationship or fall into these type of men that you all desire, they don't last long. Those women have departed and went exit left. Those relationships did not last. Because in order to get in these type of relationships, one of the reasons that they don't last for women who are just pretty is because you still have to be an authentic being. You still have to know thyself in order for these relationships to be healthy and interdependent. And that is the issue. When you start you decide to get these relationships because you're getting some type of benefit or he is helping you and y'all create a codependent relationship, baby, it's only time before it's over with. It's only time before it's over with. All right, so let's see what everybody's saying. Hello, pedestal wives. How are you doing? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. First, hey. This is your first time here. Welcome to the Pedestal Wife Society. Just killing old you until cutting off certain family members, because I'm just about done with some of them. Baby, I've been cut them off. Any family member that was toxic and that was going to be an issue overall, I have been turned them away. The thing is, there's an expression that I grew up with my grandmother. She says, feed people from a long handled spoon. And I tend to do that. So if it's a family member that I necessarily can't cut out all the way, I just feed them with a long tail spoon, which means I keep my distance from those individuals in order to thrive. But sometimes that is not an option for you. Sometimes you have to cut those family members off. Sometimes you got to let toxicity out of your life in order to level up. Sometimes we have to change our entire life in order to kill the old and bring up the new. LOL, outside are the profiles of men who are looking for an ambitious woman. The men who are actually advertising in that manner, a lot of times they're just looking for 50-50. They're not looking for anything that's important. They're actually looking for 50-50 partner. When a man is talking ambitious on social media, that is 50-50, and he's looking for someone who's going to build with him. But usually men who don't need any of that, when they are thinking of an ambitious man, ambitious woman, they're thinking of a woman who's willing to grow, a woman who's willing to level up, a woman who's willing to change and be adaptable, a woman who is not stuck in her ways. And that's the thing that I have just found out with a lot of women. Women don't want to kill the old because you're stuck in your ways. You done got used to not being treated well. And getting used to not being treated well is not a badge of honor. You should not want to be used to not being treated well. You should want to do the things that's required in order to have a better life. But that's not so with every woman. I pedals to white. Hey, I've been cut off my family. You can't level up with toxic ties pulling you down. You cannot. You cannot. You absolutely cannot. Because those are the people that when you do connect or give a high value guy access to your energy and get in a relationship with them, those are the very ones who will try to destroy the very thing that y'all are together to get. Trust me when I tell you, I've already been there, done that, and cut off anyone who's in a opposition of me leveling up and having the life that I desire. Now I live a life of peace. Now I don't know any of this drama, trauma, issues. My day-to-day is wonderful because I don't have any of this or any of that drama or toxic ties in my life. None whatsoever. Because I will cut you off very quickly. I will choose me every single time. And people don't expect that because it's PC to keep trying with a person. It is PC to keep trying with a person when you know it's not going to work out. And people normally do that. They try to stay in the lines of PC or being politically correct. I don't care about it. I'm going to do what's best for me because I have been killed the old me and a new person is here. She is here. She has risen. So I do not keep or hold on to ties that are toxic. And I do not hold on to things that I know that do not serve me. And that is rare because most women and I'm going to say some men too, of course, but most of the time, y'all keep holding on to things that don't serve you because you are politically correct. You feel like you have to give that person another chance. I don't believe in more than one. And I will cut you off. This makes no sense to me because I go a certain distance and change and get right back to my old ways of doing things once I'm around certain people and places. And it's actually normal. Like, don't think there's something abnormal about you. The thing is, I'm just talking about along the lines of what you need to do, because if you want something different, you have to be willing to do something different. You cannot think that you're going to get great results if you continue to do the same thing over and over and over. You have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to walk through fire. You have to be willing to put your money where your mouth is. You have to be willing to do the very thing that you're scared of. You have to be willing to do it even in fear. You have to be willing to be bold. And that's something women decide, or, we've not been trained to do these things. We have it. I can honestly say that my childhood wasn't conducive of having that self-confidence to be able to move along and move around when needed. You're literally taught to be a good girl and accept other people and be nice to people. You're really taught to take and keep giving people chance after chance after chance after chance. And that's the thing I fought with in the beginning. When I had to go about changing, I fought with trying to, get rid of people. Like, shouldn't I give another person another chance? Maybe they may make something different. The thing is, what they showed you first time is who they are. And that's the thing we don't like to accept. We don't like to accept that people show us who they are. They do. They show us pretty early. We just don't like to see or accept what we are seeing or hearing. We want to believe that everybody is nice, kind, and a good person. We don't want to believe that there's some evil in the world, that people are not right, they're very unwell. We don't want to believe any of that. So we tend to stay too long. And then when you stay too long, you become jaded, bitter, and disillusioned. You become unhappy because you know you weren't supposed to stay there that long. And this is the reason why at some point we have to cut ties. We have to move around. We have to be willing to walk through fire. We have to be willing to do what it takes to change. We have to be willing to get a better outcome. If you're not willing to do it, you won't have better outcomes. There is no fairy godmother. There is no Disney. There is no romantic ending. There's none of these things without change. No problem, no problem. I thought I was going to be late for a second there. In order to change, and that is the biggest, and Pedal to Wife, we talk about this all the time. We talk about how women want the change, but they're not willing to do what it takes to change. That's the reason why there's something called baptism. That's the reason why any type of spirituality, there's a cleansing, because they want to purify you and change you and change your thinking and have you think and walk anew. You have to be willing to do those things that it take. There is no one coming to save you. There isn't. And I know that sometimes it's heartbreaking because some people really truly believe they're waiting on someone to come save them. They're waiting for that knight in shining armor. Disney has corrupted a lot of mentalities when it comes to romance and love. And some of us don't realize we have to save ourselves. We have to do what it takes and make a decision, because it all starts with a decision. If you don't make a decision that you're ready to change, that you're ready to have a different outcome, that you deserve to have better things and options in life, you have to make a decision. Then once you make that decision, you have to put action behind that decision and do the thing. You can't sit back and hope, dream, pray. Prayer without work is dead. If you are just constantly praying, prayer without work is dead. If you're not putting any action behind that prayer, if you're not doing something to make that prayer come, if you're not doing what it takes in order to make that thing happen for you, you will be in the same space that you close your eyes on. And that's the reality of it all. All of this woohoo and this these Disney teachings that are out here, that is not my page. My page is results. The women that I work with, they have results. They do. I just gave up on coaching because I feel like coaching is, this is a whole nother topic, but I feel like coaching is doing a disservice to women. Because as long as women, coaches and mentors and gurus, if only thing they're doing is pouring into that woman to a certain degree as far as giving her some type of tactic, technique, and trick, she's never going to be able to look beyond the surface to find out what's truly going on behind closed doors. And that is the issue. And that's the reason why I exited stage left when it came to coaching, mentoring, and all of that. And I no longer do it because I realized that some of us do not want to realize it is more than a technique to get you where you need to be. Literally, some of us, what's holding us back is because it's our thinking. We haven't got a control over our thoughts. Our thoughts lead us instead of us leading our thoughts. Some of us, it's because of insecurity. We're too insecure to make bold moves and say things that need to be said. We're too scared to set boundaries. And all of these things have to be worked on before you can even go into the realm of coaching and mentoring and tips, techniques, and all those things have to be worked on before. So that is the reason why I felt like coaching and all of that was getting women too far away from what really is going on and what we need to work on. So I don't coach anymore. First time you're watching the video, we're so excited to learn. Yes, welcome to the Pedestal Wife Society. But that is the reason why I don't. And I get requests all the time. I really do. I get requests all the time about coaching. And that's the reason why I don't coach. Because I know that you're thinking that I have something I haven't told you. You think that I have been able to land a high value man because I know something that you don't know. And I've been on social media for a very long time telling you all what I did. And the thing that I started with was inner work. That is what I did. Because how can I go out here and attract a high value man if my mentality is trash? If I didn't think well of myself, I'm not going to go after the things that are better for me. If I don't treat myself well, I'm not going to go after the things that are great for me. If I don't take care of me and look inward and put myself first, I am not going to be able to attract people who even do that thing for themselves. So it was my mentality first, because I've always been honest. I've always been pretty. Pretty is as pretty does. Pretty only takes you so far. Even some of the most prettiest women in the world are being mistreated right now. There's some drop dead gorgeous women who can't even deal with a man who's going to take care of them and provide 100%. There's some drop dead gorgeous women right now who are sharing a man. There's some drop dead gorgeous women who are being mistreated, disrespected, and abused. And you all don't want to face the real issue. The real issue is what we're thinking of ourselves, how we feel about ourselves, what we're willing to put ourselves through. We don't want to acknowledge that it's the inner that needs to be more worked on than our outer. Your inner self, your higher self, will change according to the work that you do in your physical look will change according to the work that you do on your inner self. Your higher self will determine your looks. And y'all don't I don't know if you understand that. I'll stop right there. Just so if you get that, I'll keep going. Do you get that? Your higher self will determine your looks. It's easy to watch videos and be in chats. The willpower to take action and experience the growing pains that change your life is what most won't do. It's uncomfortable to take risks and change yourself. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to even stop saying that women don't desire to change, because they do. Y'all are here. So y'all desire change. You desire a different outlook. You desire to kill that old person and rise anew. You desire to tap into that higher self. But your higher self will determine your look. As you pour into your higher self and heal what is broken and fix what is needed, it changes your look. It changes what you want to see in the mirror. You'll make the changes. This is the reason why most places aren't telling you all that you need to do the inner work, outward. Because the thing is, when you don't know thyself, anyone can tell you who you truly are. Anyone can tell you what you want, what you should have, and what you're going to be. But when you know thyself and you do the work and tap into your higher self, you will only surround yourself with people who help the higher self grow and become better, who help and give you time to reflect and become better and work on that inner work. You will be very picky about who you surround yourself with. Your energy will literally determine who can be in your circle and who cannot. I don't understand that your higher self will determine your looks. Okay, let's go down that path. Let me break that down a little further. As you work on your self-image, because see, every woman has an image of what she feels that should look like. Every woman can close their eyes, and when they imagine themselves looking a certain way. The thing is, when you start pouring into your higher self and start increasing your self-worth, your self-confidence, tapping in and understanding your needs. That image will change. And that image, you're going to want to go and physically change the looks to fit that look. So your higher self will determine your looks. And you will not only determine your looks, it will also give you a, I won't go too deep with that, but it will give you like a glow. It'll give you a knowing. It tapping into your higher self is so much. Is what we should be pushing to the masses of women, versus just pushing put on a dress and heels and makeup. Because the thing is, when you are comfortable with your higher self and you have an understanding of who you are, being able to go and do things and be boldly becomes very easy because you're comfortable in who you are. So hopefully I explained that. I didn't want to go too deep with that because there's a deeper meaning behind that. When if someone is depressed, they don't take care of themselves. When someone feels great, they take care of themselves better. Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Pedestal wife, she summed it up in a simple way. Because when I'm in the groove, I'm in that higher self and that thinking. I will put. I'm trying to put it in terms of people. If you're not doing the work, you might not have understanding, and that's what I want to break it down. But she just nailed it. When you're depressed, you don't take care of yourself. When you aren't depressed, you take better care of yourself. And a lot of us, when we do the work, when we take care of our higher self, we tend to do better on our physical looks. We tend to buy better products. We tend to make sure that our hair is glowing. We tend to try to do to make sure we present ourselves in a certain way. So working on your higher self will make sure that your looks improve every single time. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, thank this pedestal wife here. Thank you, pedestal wife. See, thank you so much. Okay, but the thing is, you have to kill the old in order to become a new. You cannot continue to avoid doing the work. And the thing is, I think that we have gotten to a place where there's so much noise that so many people are trying to figure out how to get to that end goal, how to get that happy ever after without doing any of the work. But if you were to look at any of the statistics in the numbers, people who just get the man and not do any of the work and not be an authentic woman, they end up divorced. They don't end up being with that person anyway. Because the thing is, when you don't do the work and you don't take care of your higher self and you don't pour into yourself and you don't know who you are as a woman, you can connect with anything. You can connect with anybody because a lot of the advices along the line is do this in order to attract him. Say that in order to attract him. Wear this in order to attract him. Put this perfume in order to have to smell good to attract him. Everything is geared towards him, towards a man you don't know. So once you do get that man that's going to be attracted to the very things that you're doing, have you done enough work on self to know who you are? Or are you getting married and attaching yourself to someone and you're not operating as an authentic woman, as an authentic being, who you are, were always meant to be? And I can guarantee you, how many times have I ever talked to a woman and a lot of times they don't know who they are. A lot of times women do not know who they are. And that's another reason that made me pull back from coaching, because I realized women don't even know who they are. But they over here trying to figure out how to get a man. They're over here trying to figure out how to level up to get high value, high quality men. But you don't know who you are. Do you realize high value, high quality men normally have to go through the fire in order to figure out who they are as men? Do you know they have to go through the fire in order to figure out their values and what they represent and what their goals are and what their purpose are and what the mission is? When women spend so much time trying to get a man, that when they do get those men, they don't know who they are. And then they tend to, the most famous answer is we grew apart or we fell out of love. That is because women are big on, women are feminine energy beings. They want to nurture, they want to love, they want to take care of. So they tend to be very adaptable and they adapt to him. And they become what he likes, but they become miserable in the process. what my next goal is. Get to know me. You can give tips on where to start, how to get to know you better, yourself better. Bro, what are some of the things that every pedestal wife will have to endure in order to change? You mentioned cutting toxic families, reading books. What else can she expect to do better for herself? Um, you're going to have to change the way you think. That is the number one issue that I come across. Women are still inundated by Disney and happy ever afters. The thing is, the way to get the happy ever after normally is because they're waiting on someone to save them. They're waiting on knight in shining armor. And that is the issue. Change the way you think. Cut toxic people out of your life. Read books that are dry and boring because they are. They are. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that the books that are going to change your life, change your mentality, and speak to your higher self and help you understand who you are as a woman, those books are dry. They're boring, but they're going to be worth it because you're going to get those gems and you're going to have a understanding at the end of the book on what's required and what you need to do for yourself. Go to therapy is needed. Like, y'all stop avoiding and running for therapy. If you need to go to therapy, go to therapy. If you're still talking about something that happened to you 10 years ago, go to therapy. If you're still talking about a breakup that happened to you 5 years ago, go to therapy. If you're still talking about a friendship that ended bad, go to therapy. Go to therapy. Stop trying to think you can live it away or dismiss it and forget it. Because guess what? Those traumas and insecurity and the things that you went through are holding you back. They're like in the background just tugging on you. When I question women, I can always tell when it's an issue of childhood, when it's an issue of a breakup, when it's the issue of a mother or a father. I can always tell when it's those issues popping up. But what happens is you're trying to get the tips, tactics, and techniques. You're trying to get and figure out how to have a shortcut to getting what you desire, not realizing the very people who are advising you, if they don't have it, a lot of times they didn't do any of these things because they don't have it. And that's the reason why they don't have it. The women who do have it, and which I do know a lot of them in this community who already have it, or who have experienced it or are experiencing it currently, they had to do the work. They had to get in the mud and figure out exactly what their how to get control of their thoughts. Remember, your thoughts, you're supposed to lead your thoughts. Your thoughts ain't supposed to be leading you. You're supposed to be leading your emotion. Your emotion ain't supposed to be leading you. You're supposed to be control over your being. If you don't have control of your being, you're out here just willy and nilly and doing everything. You need to do the work. I never thought it would come to a time when you ask a woman, who am I? And they don't know. The thing is, you are not the sum of your work. You're not the sum of your education. You're not the sum of what's between your legs. If you can't answer who you are, you have to start doing the work. Because once you tap into your higher self and you know who you are, then you'll gravitate, and the guys that you're looking for, they'll come to you. There is no more dating on that level. There is no more chasing on that level. There is no more pursuing on that level. So there's no reason for me to give you tips, tactics, and techniques when there is no on that level. What books you recommend getting your higher self? I always post books on my community page on YouTube. I've been posting them forever. I even asked, did y'all want me to stop? But I post them on my community page. I also post them in courses. I never not drop anything that's for my community without books, like where you can read more on the topic. And let me explain something to you, and this may help some of you all. All right. Understand that learning can be done through emotions and learning can be done through reading. Do not get disgusted or distracted or mad because you don't learn great through reading. That's the reason why I give you so many different ways that you can learn and level up. I do have my biggest inner work course is the Evolve Pedestal Wife. That gives you so many ways in order to learn. Some of you will be better off if you learn through the feminine energy. Feminine energy is journaling through emotions. That is how you learn. Maybe you're that person, you can look at how you feel or how you reacted, and then you can grow from that. Or maybe you're that type of person, you can read a book and you read that book and you grow from that. That's the difference. The masculine energy will be books, the feminine energy will be journaling. Figure out if you learn both in both ways, or you learn best through feminine energy. Maybe you need a journal, and that will help you to learn and grow and level up. Or maybe you need to read the book and do the journal on the book. And you can do that. And y'all got to realize, at one point I used to be an educator, so I know different styles of learning, and I know that people do not learn the same way. Facts, 100 on point. Gotta know who you are to the core. Absolutely, you gotta know who you are. And the thing is, knowing who you are is a journey. It is not something that you're gonna get there and stop. Oh well, I'm done. I learned everything I need to know about me. Let me go sit down. No, learning who you are is a journey, which means I am not the same woman that started this community. I am not the same woman that started and pressed that button in December. I think it was 2018, 2019, 2019. I'm gonna say 2019 because I don't remember exactly. But I'm not the same woman. I don't even view things the same way. I don't even speak the same way as I did then. I don't even do some of the same things I used to do when I started videos. That was 3 years ago. That is because I'm always evolving and leveling up and changing. You should be able to look over your life and say, babe, ooh, what was I thinking 5 years ago? Or if you're not leveling up and evolving, you're still there where you started at 5 years ago. Life is a journey. You're not supposed to continue to sit down and quit. But that is what I'm finding out. People are willing to do. People are literally willing to sit and crap. Y'all are really willing to sit and ish just so that you can not do the work, not move up, not level up, not do anything that's going to get you the outcome of the results that you desire. You would rather sit and ish than to do the work and have a different outcome. You would rather sit and ish and be jealous of another woman and not realize you don't even have to compete. There is no competition because there's no comparison. No competition, no comparison. But that's a whole nother level. That's higher self-talk. Hi, I'm glad you make the live. Welcome to the Pedestal Wife Society. But that is the thing. You have to be willing to get out of ish. You have to be willing to do what it takes. Girl, I can tell you 20 something, well, 21, 22 years ago, I was willing to walk through fire. I was willing to walk through fire with coals. I was willing to do whatever it takes to get out of that ish. I was willing to do whatever it takes to never sit across and watch my boyfriend tell another woman that he didn't know why he was with me. I was willing to do ish. I was willing to do whatever it takes. I was willing to walk through fire. I was willing to change. I was willing to read books. I was willing to talk to women. Do y'all think that every woman that I was able to get as my mentor that was willing to sign up for it, baby, I was out and about willing to have a conversation. I was willing to be bold. When I was coming across a woman who was provided for and taken care of, I was willing to pull her side, girl, where the tea at? I was willing to do what it takes. And yes, I had women in my life who gave me some direction, but they still didn't fill in all of the blanks sometimes. But I was willing to do what it takes to get the answers. I don't understand the generation of women who are willing to sit and ish and be jealous of other women instead of asking that woman, sis, what is the tea? What do I need to do? Because I want that also. Remember, there is no competition because there's no comparison. When you deal with a woman like myself and some of the women of this community, of the Pedestal Wife community, there is no competition. There is none. We operate very well together because we can realize that we have something we want to learn from each other. But when you're willing to sit ish, you're not willing to do anything, you're not willing to change, You willing to sit ish until the end of time. You wouldn't allow your life to go by dealing with Dusties, going to two-star restaurants and only being able to go to McDonald's at special occasions. You only willing to live your life little, small, and dismissive. And when a woman like myself and the women of this community give you advice, baby, you better take notes and listen. Because I only surround myself with women who aren't on this path. I dismiss them very quickly on. The pedestal wives, no. There's some women who started out here are not here anymore because I don't play that. I don't have time for foolishness. I don't have time for jealousy. I don't have time for competition because trust me, I'm never going to compete with you. My journey started after I got fed up with dealing with the wrong men. I started watching YouTube books, toxic people, reread scripture in my own eyes, made hard choices, and learned through experiences. Absolutely. I'm going to leave hers up there because she just gave you an entire manifesto that you can start today. You can literally start what she posted here today. You can start watching YouTube videos. You can read books. You can cut off toxic people. You can read the Bible and interpret it and get an interpretation from your own spirit. You can make hard choices. And you need to learn from your experiences. You need to learn what's currently going on and not just gloss over it. Because I don't understand this ability to sit and ish and not change. I don't have that in me. If I'm going to sit and ish, I'm going to move around because I can't do it. And you shouldn't want to either. We have to be willing to put the energy in and the work. You do not get to these levels of thinking. This is the reason why a woman can suggest that you go out to restaurants by yourself, and the only thing you think of, oh, I can't do that by myself. Why can't you? You're a goal by yourself. So why in the world would you be scared to go anywhere by yourself? Oh, I can't wear makeup. I don't know. Why you can't go to a counter and learn how to put on makeup? Oh, I can't do this or I can't do that. Can't ain't never. One of the things we have to do is get rid of can't. There's no such animal. And I'm so happy that my grandmother, God bless her soul, thank God for being raised in a family that made us eliminate can't. My kids are not even allowed to say can't because there's no such thing. It doesn't exist in our world. So when I hear women talking about at your big age, talking about you can't what? What you can't do? You can do anything that you desire to do and anything that you want to do. This is why we have to let the old die and the new must rise. My own journey started during COVID, and I started watching Shira 7, reading, gym, etc. But the journey never stopped. It never stops. Like I said, you have never arrived. Your journey is for a lifetime. So it's interesting to me when I hear from women, I'll be like, oh, I have arrived. I know. Girl, sit down. Y'all better be learning how to see these women who are not authentic, and all they want to do is get their hands in your pockets. Because the journey is forever. You're forever going to be changing and transforming and evolving and leveling up. You're going to be changing and even thinking different. You might even believe in something one year and next year, no, it's a no for you. It doesn't feel right. You might even be living a certain life and you're like, oh, this got to change. The main question most women are like, what do men want? What do you want? Who are you? What do you desire? What are you doing to become the best version of yourself? What are you doing to level up and evolve? I guarantee you, and I know this may be a little trigger, not too much, hopefully, but a lot of us don't want to be honest about the reason why we attract men that we feel that is not of our caliber. We don't want to be honest about that. We want to believe that it's just him. And when we do that to ourselves, this is refusing growth. When we do that to ourselves, this is refusing to grow and evolve. Because at that moment when you was able to look at the men that you were dating and you decided to just blame them and continue in that cycle of dating the same type of men with a different face all the time, you are refusing to grow. you're wanting and okay with sitting in ish. You have to want what's best for yourself, then learn to love, value, trust yourself, and ask the hard questions. Then get the answers. You have to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly and grow. It's work. Yes. And it's not for the weak. It's not for the weak. I don't know. And see, like I said, when I was a teacher, I knew this was going to happen eventually. I knew it was going to get to a point where we had young people who weren't able to see anything. They weren't able to sit down but for a minute for entertainment. And if it's not entertainment or engaging, then they were going to move around. And that's because of the fact that we were training these kids in public school to not be able to sit down without being entertained or engaged. Now, when I was a teacher, I did very good at entertaining and engaging. But when I got to the rough stuff, when I got to the information they needed to know, and it was dry, it was hard to hold their attention when they had been trained to only stay still through entertainment and engagement. And I see this on social media. Look at social media and where it's changed. Look at how people can literally only, even when I do these long videos, I need to cut them down if I want the algorithm to push them. Because we have a whole entire generation that cannot sit down unless they're entertained or engaged. But sometimes the level up and the growth is not entertaining. It is not engaging. It is not fun. It is not happy. And it doesn't feel good. And so that is the reason why we have a whole bunch of people who can't do the work or won't do the work, and they're willing to sit and ish because it's not entertaining. It's not engaging. It is not fun. And I saw this coming when I quit. I've been out of the teaching profession probably about 4 years. When did I? Probably like 2018. Because when I quit, I knew I couldn't do it. Because I was like, we're going to turn a whole bunch of kids into like little robots, can only focus when they're entertained. And I'm not a clown. I'm not a clown. At some point, how many times can you figure out how to make things entertaining and engaging, especially when you're sitting here trying to let them listen to speeches, especially when you're teaching history. Like any history teacher can account to, trying to teach history can be the hardest job because you're supposed to be entertaining and engaging. And now I see women that are young. I'm gonna say young baby pillow swaps. I'm not gonna say my OGs, my day ones, because they will sit down and watch an entire video and then comment and then also send me a DM or something about it. So no, not them. It's my younger ones that have a hard time sitting through an entire video. And instead of sitting through the video, you want to hire me to coach you for one video to tell you what I said. Girl, everything is entertaining. Everything is engaging. If you want to kill the old you and you want to have the new you rise, you have to be willing to sit down even when it's dry, even when it's not funny, even when it's not entertaining, even when it's not a he session, even when it is not a happy ever after type of thing. If it's going to give you the gems and give you the information that you need to level up and evolve, you're going to have to learn how to sit your butt in that chair and sit down and digest that information. Different men want different things, which is why vetting is vital. Absolutely. Because they are not a monolith. They aren't. And this whole thing of all men are alike, they aren't. This is the reason why. Pedestal wife. You remember why I always used to say in the beginning that I like concepts? I do. Because y'all are going to go out into the world. When you depend on scripts and you depend on direction and mentoring, you're going to go out here and meet a man that you have never met or I have never met. And we're going to have to go off the concepts versus a script. And that's the reason why I try to get women to do the work and get out of ish instead of being dependent. I've always said you have the answers, but you have to have education in order to access them. So that goes out to the pedestal wife that I had a conversation with at the workshop. She know who she is. Thank you so much. That resonated with me. See, even when I'm teaching, I can still be a student. She taught me something in that moment. That's the reason why I put more content out to educate. And I'm putting stuff out to educate. Because you need education in order to access your higher self so that you can have and make decisions for yourself. But you got to get the education first. Because a lot of women don't have even the basic foundations. Some of us don't even have a mother who's hypergamous, a mother who is operate from her higher self. So she's not going to produce children that's operating from their higher self. If a woman, if your mother is operating from her lower self, she's going to produce kids from her lower self because she's going to be mothering those kids based off her insecurity, her imprinting, all of the issues that she was dealing with that she did not deal with prior. But if you have a mother who's operating and mothering from her higher self, her children will take that and they will take that and give it to their children, and they will give that to their children, and see how that chain reaction happens. And you birth a legion of higher self, women who operate from higher self. Oh, I'm late. I'm just locked in. No problem. I love the topic. Yes. I started when my BD treated me like ish. I used to watch Miles Monroe to get closer to God, and I came across femininity video and never stopped. This was in 2019. I came up such a long way. Yes, congratulations. The thing is, that's what we're supposed to do. That's what we're supposed to do. Trust me, I don't do these videos just to have fun. I don't do them just to entertain or engage. I don't do them just to make women feel good. I do them so that I can help women access their higher self and get them on the path of becoming their better selves. And that is what women are supposed to be doing. Women are not supposed to decide to sit and ish and not change. They're not supposed to. They're supposed to evolve. Just like when you get baptized and you go underneath that water, when you come up, you're supposed to have a new thinking. You're supposed to walk different. You're supposed to talk different. You're supposed to move differently. Women should be looking at these things when they're looking at YouTube videos. You're supposed to be tapping in and seeing what you can use to move differently. When you read these books, you're supposed to be applying them to your life and trying them out. When you watch a movie and it seems as though it's something that you utilize, you're supposed to be tapping in and seeing if it works for you. When you take a course, you're supposed to take and do every piece of the course. Because I have courses too, and I have them at affordable prices, period. Those courses, I've noticed when women have done 100%, and I know since they did 100% and they did it within a week, that they did not do it properly. And I know they didn't put their all into it. And I know when they get done with that course, at the end of since they did 100% and they just flew through it and they didn't really digest it, they didn't just really comprehend it, they didn't really take it in, they didn't really try it out, they didn't really do anything with it, that they're gonna still be sitting in ish even after they take that course. So, and because I know what I put into them, and they are lengthy, and they have plenty of pieces. The courses I put out normally, except for my mini courses, they should take a month. They should take a month or two to digest, especially if you're trying to change. If you're trying to get out of issue, you're trying to change, it should take at least a month to 2 months to complete the course. When you're done the work, it's all about you. You want me and need. You're not running around trying to please me and others. You ask, what's in this for me? How does this better my life? You have standards set. Absolutely. 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 We need a video on how to properly vet a man. It's in a playlist. I have a playlist that talks about, I think it's Be His Wife. It's there. I've done that video. I've done a video about how to vet a man properly. It's there. Trust me, it's there. How can I join the Facebook group? I don't have a Facebook group. I used to. We shut down for a while, so I don't have one. And I don't know when I'm gonna be able or have the ability or energy to open up another one. So I was thinking about maybe in the wintertime, but I'm not sure. I don't even want to make a promise until I see when I'm gonna have time to be able to open up one. But I have one, I just don't have one anymore. Yeah, she said it's true. I watched it. It's a great video. Yes, I've already done the properly vet a man. That's the reason why I tend to branch out and talk about inner work and feminine energy, relationships, dating. That is what my page is about. I'm getting to the point, I'm somewhat bored with relationships because of the fact that when you operate in your higher self, it's hard to even think about those things that you don't think of anymore. And to a certain degree, relationships are boring to me. Honestly, I want to talk more about how do you increase your energy. I want to talk about how do you walk into a room and be felt. I want to talk about how do you heal and fix and mend your energy so that you can utilize it. I want to talk about things of deeper meanings because I've done those things, like how to vet a man. I've done those things about what to say and what to do in certain circumstances. I've done courses. The courses are packed with information. And the thing is, if you want to learn, why haven't you taken a course? They're affordable. They're affordable. Every once in a while, I run sales. Right now, I have my Goddess of Confidence is ready. That is ready. That went into the student dashboard today. And it is for women who are trying to obtain confidence for themselves. If you want your confidence back, you want to join the 20-day challenge, Goddess Challenge, then you're going to get into the Goddess of Confidence. But I have the high vibe dating for evolved pedestal wives. That is setting the standards and princess treatment. I have the worthy pedestal wife. That is making him earn you and seduction 101. I have the evolved pedestal wife. That is the inner work. That is my big inner work course. That's like 64 pieces in there. And I always continuously upload something new. So the content is there. The content is there. I've been told that they want me to do some more. They want me to do marriage content, and I'm actually ready to go. I'm ready to move forward and move on to marriage content because I have a lot to say along the lines of marriage. I haven't even begun to scratch the surface of how a pedestal wife is going to operate within a marriage. Can you do a video on sensuality? I think that's there already also. I think it's in the playlist. I think it's in the playlist. If it isn't, you can DM me or something, and I will consider that. But sensuality, seduction 101, that will be the worthy pedestal wife. If you want a lot of tips and you have issues being a seductress, you have a lot of issues and you don't know what to do and how to use your body in order to seduce, that is a worthy pedestal wife. Inner healing is so crucial. There's so much fake femininity on YouTube, social media that doesn't touch on the seriousness of doing it inner work. They don't. And that's the reason why I don't coach. Because I think we're putting a band-aid on what's really wrong. And that's the reason why. I think that we are the industry of coaching and relationships and gurus is putting a band-aid on what really needs to happen for women. Women need to really be able to answer who and be their authentic being. Then when they're on that level, men will gravitate towards you. I keep telling you all that I've never been a girlfriend. Let me take this off the screen. Let me take this off the screen for a second. Let me take this off the screen for a second. I've never been a girlfriend. Okay? Never. I was a girlfriend in high school, but after that, I've never been a girlfriend. Do you all think that I was around there chasing a man and pursuing him and trying to find him and trying to ask people how do I get tips, tactics, and techniques in order to get a man? No, absolutely not. I've never been a girlfriend. When he came across me, he knew I was a wife, and he was pretty quick on locking me down. There was no we're gonna play this game. There was no game. There was none. But this is the level I want you ladies to have. Like y'all, if you continue sitting ish and constantly trying to find tips, tactics, and techniques in order to manipulate a man into a relationship, you're never going to get what you desire out of the relationship. You're always going to be wanting for something more or something different. Say it again, Pastor White. Say it a time for the newbies. Yes, you won't need scripts and tricks. Your standards and boundaries are firmly set in place. You say what needs to be said and how. You behave according to get the results you want. Doing the work works. Thank you. Thank you. That's the reason why we don't need any scripts. Yes, did I put some scripts and high vibe dating for evolved pedestal wives? Yes, I did. Why did I do that? Because they were talking about education. And I did it for that moment, but I decided that I can only do so much of that because I know that you don't need scripts and tricks when you're dealing with a man who desires and wants you. When you decide to have standards and boundaries and they're firm, you don't need all the extra. And that's the reason why I don't coach. Because when you deal in coaching, that's what women are looking for. They're looking for that shortcut to get them exactly what they want, even though you will be able to, you'll get what you desire by doing the inner work. You will be able to live a better life of enjoyment when you do the inner work. I'm a generation breaker in my family. I believe it's only right as the firstborn. Absolutely. Absolutely. Nothing wrong with that. I'm a firstborn also. How to do sensuality without being vulgar. Um, Sensuality is body language. So I'm not sure how vulgar is connected because sensuality, seduction is body language. It is how you move your body. It's being in your body. It's being present within your body. See, being sensual and seduction goes back to feminine energy. And that's how you work that. You go from the angle of working on feminine energy and learning to be present in your body and learning to feel and have your authentic feelings and learning to speak from an authentic way in what you desire, what you want, and that is sensuality. But it's coming from feminine energy. A lot of times when women are having problems with sensuality, it is because of the fact that they are not in touch and tapped in with their feminine energy, not in the way that it matters. Okay, most women are tapped into their femininity, but not their feminine energy, and they're two different things. When you get present in your body and trust your body in its authentic self, sensual, being a seductress comes very easy. It's literally like something that you have to turn off. But it's being present in your body. It's being present in your body. And that's the thing. And women need to do, even being sensual is something that needs work because you need to tap into feminine energy, not femininity. Femininity that wearing a dress, makeup, and hair, that's only the surface level. Feminine energy, being in your body and having authentic emotions and feelings and being connected to that and trusting your body, it will make sure that when your movements become more sensual, your movements become more slow, especially when you're doing authentic things that you trust. But I will maybe that's a topic for another day. Maybe that's a topic for another day, because seduction and sensuality is feminine energy. When a woman is in her feminine energy, she becomes very seductive. Every movement is slowed down and expressed. Every movement becomes more attractive. Even her voice becomes more attractive. And her eyes become more attractive. Y'all, it's not vulgar. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where that's coming from. And maybe that is because we do have so many. I'm not a femininity teacher, by the way, but I do know my ish when it comes to femininity and feminine energy. Um, and maybe that's where it's coming from. Maybe y'all really think that these men are wanting you talk vulgar or nasty to them. That is sexual. That's masculine energy. When you're trying to seduce with masculine energy, when you talk sexually or you talk vulgar. When you talk, and it's not when you're not talking. That's the thing. You're not talking when you're using feminine energy to seduce or sensuality. You're in your body, and every movement is slowed down. Every moment is watched because of the way you're moving. You're in your body. Every movement is seductive. You're in your body. You're present and you're feeling everything. Even the hair on your shoulder, you're feeling it. Even when you touch your skin, you're feeling it. And his eyes are drawn to it because you're in your body. 100. Coaching is hard when most women have deep inner issues that she needs to work through. She needs surgery, a successful healing, not a band-aid, paper clips, and bubble gum. I learned it the hard way. Baby girl, like from one coach to another, you already know how I feel about this. That's the reason why I quit. Because I was like, I'm not going to deal with women and their deeper issues and they're not wanting to do the work. And you're teaching them, but they don't want to do what it takes. They would rather sit and ish and figure out how to take a shortcut to get to something. Like they'll really take a sitting ish, take a shortcut to get something temporary, and that's what that is. And we got to do better. But there are no good books on sensuality. Are there? Pedestal Wife. Is there any other books on sensuality other than the Art of Seduction? Art of Seduction is not about sensuality. It isn't. So I'm not even going to suggest that. I'm trying to think. Pedestal Wife, do you have anything that you can suggest to her about sensuality that she can read? Because mine is mostly feminine energy. I don't remember the names off the top of my head. Because feminine energy is seduction. And it's not about the words. That's the reason why. Look, let me give y'all a tip, okay? And then I'm gonna get ready to close these out because y'all can't sit for anything longer than a few minutes. And this was way long. I had to learn how to cut it off at 30 minutes at least. But think about it. This is the reason why men go to strip clubs. They go to strip clubs and they watch women dance because women using their feminine energy in their bodies, in their movement, and that's sensuality. And they're slowing. A lot of times they're slowing their movements down so that a woman it'll catch a guy's eye. That's the reason why men go to certain places like that because it's the best place to view sensuality and seduction in one place. But it's not words. So whoever taught you that sensuality is even connected to vulgar or talking sex, it isn't. Those women who are talking sex don't know what they're doing. Those women do not know what they're doing. If you want to be sensual, be in your body, be present. And see, I knew she would have one because she reads just as much as I do. Yes, The Seduction Mystic by Jeannie Sales. There you go. That is the book that you can utilize for sensuality. You read that by her already? I think I started it. I haven't finished it, so I can't even give. What was the issue about the reading? Like, if you read it, what's the issue with the sensuality and seduction? Apart from playing tennis and reading books, what other sort of activities are feminine in nature, by the way? Whatever you intend for you to do. The thing is feminine energy is not based off characteristics in what y'all are seeing on social media. That is the Western ideals. I don't go by Western ideals when it comes to feminine and masculine energy. I go by Asian ideals. I go by ideals that have stood the test of time. Feminine energy is literally determined by intention. So if you intend to do it, and it's an intention based off of the feminine characteristics, then it's feminine. Don't concern yourself. Y'all don't get yourself caught up or confused about what activities are feminine. Do something that you like, and you will draw and have people gravitate to you because you like doing it. See, I'm not about over here suggesting certain things that you do in order to appear feminine. I want you to be your authentic self. If you are going to do something to nurture, if you're going to do something to nurture, then it's feminine energy. If you're going to do something that's a feminine characteristic and your intention is along that realm, then it's considered feminine energy. So a lot of the things that they talk about as feminine is not feminine, is actually masculine. And some things they talk about is masculine is actually feminine. I suggest that you get involved in activities that you like to do. That's what I suggest. Because I am not also one of those women who believe that you only need feminine energy in order to be a complete authentic woman. I believe in order to be an authentic woman, you have to be have healthy masculine and healthy feminine. Yeah, the art of seduction does just teach narcissistic game from a man's perspective, so that it's not helpful. I can't think of one off the top of my head. I might have one in my library, and I have to check. If I have one, I'll post it in the comments or something. But I can tell you this: if you want to be more sensual, more seductive, you have to learn to get in your body. That's where you're going to be able to be sensual. It is not about the words. It's not about saying anything. It's more about being happy in the skin that you're in. The happier you are in your skin and the more accepting you are of your body, the more sensual and seductive you can be. Read The Powerful and Feminine by Rachel Jane Gruber. So she's giving you another book recommendation. I would definitely, if you haven't read it, I would write it down. Okay, how to get in your body. The very first way to get in your body is to be quiet. You're going to have to figure out how to be quiet. And the quickest way is to meditate. That's the quickest way to get in your body. The quickest way to get in your body is to be quiet and sit still and really just not do anything. You're not thinking about anything. You're just sitting there being quiet and being in your body and feeling in your body, feeling how your body feels, feeling how your heart getting listening to your heartbeat. You're in just sitting still with yourself. That's how you get in your body very quickly. Some people get in their body by dancing. Some people get in their body by doing a physical activity. You have to get in your body, whichever way it takes for you to be able to feel and really be able to get to the point where you can feel even your breathing going in and out, your heart beating. You can feel all the things that are going on in your body. All right. Well, that is all that I have today. But I want to thank you all for spending time with me. I appreciate you all who stayed and all the way into the end because this was a long live stream. But we have to realize that if we want something new, we have to kill the old us and allow the new us to rise. You do not get anywhere by doing the same thing over and over and over. The definition of insanity is to continue to do the same thing over and over and over, thinking you're going to get a different result. It is time to move above and beyond where and get out of the ish. It's time to level up and do the inner work. And I will see you all on the next one. You have a great day. I appreciate you so much. Bye.